quick shower, free breakfast, and it's time to hit the road. So long, Gainesville. It was nice. Hope you find your paradise or whatever. As an old man, I like going to antique malls from time to time, but not for the reasons you might think. Typically, 98% of the merchandise in these places is of no use to me, and many times there's just nothing in the entire building that piques my interest. Plus, it's the South, so a lot of stuff around here is uncomfortable. Even in the best of circumstances, you're still going to find a nightmare booth that is nothing but starting lineup figures, a couple of random Family Guy DVDs, and 4 different books about Hitler. But occasionally I find that one vendor that has my brand of stuff. Weirdo 70s things, dumb vinyl albums, something on VHS that never made its way to any other format, and so on. So when I'm in a new city and I have time carved out, I'll seek out an antique mall or two. There weren't any places of interest on the way to Gainesville, but heading out of Gainesville to the next location had a couple worth exploring. First up was this isolated murder barn right off of I-75. Literally right off I-75. Luckily, it wasn't a murder barn at all, but a very nice, jam-packed place with some great finds. This is Antique Emporium in Reddick, Florida. Being in the general vicinity of the Space Coast has some benefits if you're looking for memorabilia, and there were some neat NASA items here, including this really cool set of drinkware that I'm already kicking myself for not purchasing. Also, the place was overflowing with classic lunchboxes that I had to resist, despite some even being reduced in price. Nope, too many things, not enough space, but damn it, I wanted that NIM box. I might have to head back down here in the near future. Still further south now and warming up fast outside. Nearly to the second arcade destination, but another stop first, this time to Lion's Head Antique Mall in Port Richey, Florida, to hunt for more treasures. and treasures were found, although I felt ridiculous handing the nice lady behind the counter the things I ended up purchasing. You'll see why in a future episode. Quick check-in at tonight's hotel of dubious quality. Now it's off to Pinball Arcade number 2, right in the middle of Tarpon Springs, Florida. Today I'm checking out the Replay Amusement Museum. Replay will cost you $14 at the door, which gets you unlimited play all day long. Today that means 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's an incredible value. Like bragging rights yesterday, Replay is filled with both old and new arcade and pinball machines, but is free from the ticket games and other large amusements that take up a lot of space in the Gainesville establishment. But either way, you know I'm here for the pinball, and lots of pinball was played. Replay is the home to this Atari Hercules pinball machine, the very same one my friends and I first encountered at the Game Warp convention in Orlando in 2012. It's a thing you'll very much want to marvel at since it's ridiculously huge and uses a cue ball, like from a pool table, instead of standard pinballs. It also sucks. Atari's short-lived pinball division was not great. The gimmick of a huge table to go along with the Hercules theme is neat, but you will play it exactly one time and then probably never ever again. As you might imagine, it's very slow and clunky. Still, it's a neat thing to look at. Now, some of you arcade machine people might be wondering why I'm not mentioning or playing any arcade machines so far during this journey. It's not that I'm against classic arcade machines, far from it. I just think that for 99% of old school arcade games, there are more convenient ways to play them, but there are exceptions to my rule. One such exception is 1983's Track and Field by Konami. This thing was always very popular in my hometown arcade, which was previously a restaurant called the Wiener Hut. I don't know why I remember that, but anyway. Wait, yes, I know why I remember that, because I was 9 and Wiener Hut was a hilarious name. Now, you can play Track and Field via modern PCs. There's an Xbox 360 version. There were many home conversions for both consoles and computers. Some even came with custom controllers. But nothing beats playing this in the arcade, and I phrase it that way specifically because the appeal of Track and Field is that you're just beating the hell out of this piece of electronic furniture. I can't imagine how arcade owners felt watching this thing get pummeled day after day. Surely these buttons and switches were being constantly replaced. The cocktail version of the game here at Replay has clearly been bashed repeatedly, as you can see from all the wear. Look, you just can't do this on a home controller, especially modern ones. You need this control scheme. You need these buttons, and you need to wail on them. And I'm going to keep playing this one in arcades until the arthritis comes for me, which is probably soon. Another must-play arcade machine for me is Dragon's Lair. Now, unlike Track and Field, there are much easier ways to play Dragon's Lair. It's been released on everything, and given the nature of the gameplay, you could even be fine playing it on a phone. Now, for me, the experience of playing a Dragon's Lair machine is the nostalgia factor. Yes, I totally understand now that this is barely a video game, but when it came out, also in 1983, it blew my mind. It was incredible. Also, it cost 50 cents to play, so basically my entire allowance was blown in a couple of sessions, so each week I would just be thinking about playing more Dragon's Lair. It achieved a mythical status in my head. Not to mention, this is just a beautiful cabinet. I love the way this and its sister cab Space Ace look. The marquee is unique, the art is rad. I just love being near this thing. I can't get what I need playing this on the Xbox or on my phone, so when I see a Dragon's Lair in the wild, I gotta play it. And the one at Replay was down. Look, I knew they had a Dragon's Lair machine here, and I had all that pre-written, so whatever, I'm still using it, damn it. I love Dragon's Lair. Also, if I'd written up a section about my favorite pinball machine, I'd have gone on and on about how much fun Stern's AC/DC machine is to play, and it's down also. So if I'd come here specifically to make a video about these two machines, I'd have been totally boned. But again, $14, and there's so much other stuff in here to do. No complaints. I really like it here at Replay. There's so many machines, and the staff is great. Now, there'd been a bit of a hubbub outside when I tried to find parking, and as it turns out, the area where the arcade is was being blocked off for First Friday, the monthly street festival that occurs, you guessed it, the first Friday of each month. I, of course, was not aware of this tradition, and if I had been, I probably would have rescheduled the whole trip around avoiding it. See, I'm not a people person, as you may know, and at first I was in a bit of a panic about having to exit through a street festival eventually to go home. But then I got outside, and there were delicious foods being cooked in huge vats, and bands were playing, and there were dogs, and I got to pet some of the dogs, and I bought a giant cookie, and friends, it was the best day ever. Non-stop pinball and a dope festival outside. And yes, of course there were booths with hemp products, but that's not what I mean, and you know it.